Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a week's worth of news from the Faroe Islands, all in just about 5 minutes.
Sounds ambitious.
Oh, it is. But we've got some great sources to work with this week. Kringvarp Faroe in .apafo and vp.afo, so let's see what we can uncover. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Where should we start?
Well, with all that political maneuvering going on right now, I think that's got to be first.
Right, those coalition talks are still ongoing, huh? The People's Party and the Union Party trying to hammer something out.
From what I saw on Kringvarp Faroe, it seems like it could go either way. Still too early to tell.
Definitely a lot of speculation going around. And of course, the tax debate is adding fuel to the fire.
Oh yeah, some politicians are pushing for that 35% tax cap.
Makes you wonder what impact that'd have if it actually happens.
Big changes for sure. Now, while we're on the topic of shakeups, did you catch that Kringvarp Faroe news?
You mean about the CEO getting fired then brought back?
Yeah, that's what Indava was saying. Crazy, right?
Seems like there's more to the story from what I've read on vp.fo. Some kind of internal disagreement.
Makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes there.
Let's shift gears a bit, though. What about the business side of things? SEV posted some pretty hefty profits.
Higher than expected, that's for sure, according to Kringvarp Faroe. But at least they're keeping the electricity prices steady.
Good news for everyone. And some of those labor negotiations are wrapping up, too.
Faroe Telecom and Posta have new contracts, but vp.fo says the nurses' unions are still at the table.
Hopefully they can reach an agreement soon.
Now, for some community news, tragically, there was that fire at the asphalt storage facility near Jarnir.
Awful news. But on a brighter note, that holiday charity drive really took off.
Over 3,500 shoeboxes of gifts? That's incredible.
Really warms the heart. And that story about the man getting swept into the sea?
Talk about a close call. Thank goodness for those rescuers. They're true heroes.
Absolutely. It really does. It seems like every week there's another dramatic rescue out there.
Those North Atlantic winds can be brutal. Speaking of things to watch out for, what about that Kringvarp Faroe situation?
Oh, right, yeah. I was reading on vp.fo that it sounds like there were some pretty major disagreements internally.
So it wasn't just a simple firing and then rehiring.
Definitely seems more complicated. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how it develops.
For sure. Now, on a lighter note, I saw that Jogvan Isaacson have a new book out.
Oh, yeah, the altarpiece, right. I was just reading about that on vp.fo.
I've heard good things. A historical mystery set in Torsham, no less.
Always love a good mystery. But speaking of history, did you see that article about genetic origins?
Wait, which one?
The one about Faroes and Icelandic men, it's saying they might not have the same genetic roots after all.
That's interesting. I think that was in vp.ofo, too.
Yeah, they were interviewing one of the researchers, and, well, it sounds like there could have been two different waves of Viking migration.
Ah, so that's why there are those subtle genetic differences. Fascinating.
It really makes you think about how these islands were settled and what the family trees really look like.
Absolutely. Now, switching gears a little, vp.fo had that piece about the Russian foreign minister getting the cold shoulder.
Oh, yeah, at that diplomatic meeting. Some people even walked out while he was talking.
That's pretty strong disapproval. Definitely some tension there.
No kidding. Makes you wonder what's going to happen next on the international stage.
Well, on a more positive note, it seems like the Faroe Islands are actually experiencing a brain gain, according to in.fo.
Brain gain?
Yeah, more highly educated people are moving to the islands than are leaving.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Really shows how much the islands have to offer.
Right. And speaking of community spirit, I love that story about sending Christmas cards.
Oh, remind me, what was that one again?
Inferfo was reporting on it, this big initiative to get children across the islands to send out Christmas cards. They're aiming for 10,000 cards sent in total.
That's a lot of holiday cheer going around. Love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know, we've really covered a lot of ground today. It's amazing how much can happen in just a week.
Right. The Faroe Islands always keep things interesting.
Before we go, we should probably touch on the Sururoi Tunnel project. I know there's been some back and forth about how it might affect Sandoy.
Yeah, vp.fo has been covering that. It's a big project, bound to have some ripple effects.
Definitely something to watch.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers it for this week.
We've gone from politics and economics to community happenings and even a bit of international news.
A real whirlwind tour of the Faroe Islands. We hope you enjoyed the deep dive, and we'll catch you next time for more news from the North Atlantic.